Hi there, it's Mare. I have a journal share to show you, just to flip through of my latest journal. As you can see, it is a very large one. Before we get started, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be updated on any new videos that I post. This is a large one. I used an old Victorian book. It will be available in my Etsy shop, or check for availability, please. I will share the link in the description box, as well as any things that I may have purchased off of Etsy. I'd like to give credit where credit's due, so I will just put the names and give credits in the description box as well. This is a 10¼ by 8 inches. That's approximate sizes for this journal. It is 70 pages front to back. It is a very old Victorian style book. I just love this, I can't pronounce the name, but I love these books, and this one was just on its way to a garbage heap, I would imagine, but I did purchase it. The pages were very brittle. I scanned what I could. It is out of copyright, so I scanned what I could and saved some pages for other journals as well. And I have put a sealant on this so it wouldn't help with any further deterioration of the cover. I learned from experience not to punch a hole in there for an eyelet like I usually do for a closure. I crumbled a book that was very old and it just was breaking apart, so I'm not going to do that with any of these books. I did purchase quite a few lately of these sort of books. So this is very shabby, a little bit of grunge in it, vintage style. I just have a clip here, dangled some twine, baker's twine, pink and white, and put some pieces of sari ribbon and just some cotton eyelet material there, strings of it, and just dangled a little. I made these little tiles with the little key there, a little bling here, and that opens up the book. It is adjustable as well. Spine has been reinforced with Tyvek, like all of my journals. This is a tassel that I made, and it's just got all the pretty colors of what is in the journal. I made this charm here with an additional charm that goes on top. I've dangled these glass bulb charms, dried flowers, little pink crystals, little clear crystals, and some pink stars in that. And I will get started now. Oh, on this I did. Now, this isn't one of the books that crumbled, but it is a book that is very old, and you can make out some of it. It says Merry Times. What I did was I cut this down and put it in here. I thought it'd be great for writing space. I've dangled some beads from it. Just a clay pink flower and some beads here, and a crystal heart with some beads on this side. And I will open this up, move that out of the way. Just sari ribbon to close it a little bit, but it lays pretty flat. I just left it more of a writing journal. Here's some applique here and some vintage lace, and this is just one of the pages from this particular book that I had scanned. And these are some pages from this book here, Little Playfellows storybook, and the images are just beautiful. So that can be written in, and just some coffee dyed papers, avocado dyed, a little bit of lace, and that is the back. I backed that with some cardstock. That's the original. I love that little mini print. So that is that. I've seen this, a few people have done these where they put a little writing journal in the front. The one that comes to mind right now is Scribbles in Time. I saw her do that, so I do want to give credit, but I like the idea. Obviously, I'm not going to do it in all my journals, but it just worked in this. All the colors seem to match really well. So here's the front page. Here's a little bag here, and I will put a couple of little things in there. This is one of the images that I had just scanned and made smaller, and I just think that's really pretty. It says off to school. This is a pocket back here. This paper I put because the cheesecloth, I didn't want it to gather up if or when the person who bought this wanted to slip something in there. I just thought that it would, you know, might rip and tear. I've kept the edges loose on purpose, but you can fit a little note or letter in there. And again, I will be putting something in those two as well. Just some lace here, printed lace with all the same colors. Fabric on the back here of that bluish green color with little pink flowers. Did some sewing. Here's a paper doll. And just some purple accents here. Some vintage music paper here, lace down here. And this little gold pin that I've put some beaded on it. This is from, and I tried to remember what it was, but this is from one of Patty Lang's auctions, and I will think about that. There's a specific technique. And of course I knew it, and then I forgot it when I came on camera. But anyway, I took little pieces of that. There's also that here, little strips from the little quilt that I have. Here's a vintage birthday postcard. I loved the little gold, the raised gold. This is from 1911. Just a piece of ephemera here. Made this little little bead. It's another one of those flower beads. If I can remember, I saw somebody making these out of just the mulberry flowers in this stem. It's very pretty. Embroidered piece there, and just a little dangle charm there. Loaded with charms. I like to do that. I made this pocket here out of a vintage quilt piece. I made it gusseted like I do most of my pockets because I just like a little extra room in there for things. Bow, some vintage lace here. That is just blank. And I do reinforce most of my spines because I do heavily embellish, and I like to strengthen that. Copy of a vintage workbook page. Little heart charm here. Made some tabs, did a little stamping. I used, not glossy accents, I have glossy accents, but I used some diamond glaze that I had out with some diamond dust there and some sewing with the pocket. It is gusseted as well. And this would be a digital that I would name in the description box. Copy of a vintage receipt that I have from 1889. In this envelope here, made this chipboard tag, or should say journaling card, very long. Here's just some decoupage there and a tag here. I thought the colors all went well. I put some gesso on the back, so if you wanted to add a word or two, you could do that easily on the printed page. A little tab here with it's a crystal and a little bow, if you can see that, pink bow. This is from, I have a lot of my Bookhouse books, which I've done a journal, I think, out of one so far, but they're in my stack of future ones. A little kite here, I've put the tie, little embellishment here. I've painted the back with some Distress Oxides and some shimmery goodness. There is shimmer and glitter in different little pieces and parts, not overly done, I don't believe. Made this little book house. And just put some paper in there for extra writing space. I thought it was cute, and it went with the little theme. Vintage book page, copy of a vintage receipt, 1888. Little tab, some avocado dyed paper. This has a gold rose charm on it. Some stamping here. This was just from a vintage book that I had. Put some trim on that, and that just flips out. Some decoupage here. Did some more diamond dust and little accent pieces of stickles on there. Made this page with some tissue paper and some decoupage work, some tickets and tags in these little glassine pockets. This is actual like a little canvas picture that I had. Little trim there, little die cut trim. Made this from Edith Holden page, just a tuck up there, little ticket, little bingo card that I've added this little die cut. And this is just an empty envelope from 1944. A little note could go in there. Put some diamond glaze on that so there is some shine there, and it just makes it more substantial to me and stand out. A little house charm there. Cupcake place, looks like a cupcake shop. Left this so it could be red here. Made this pocket, did some decoupage here. Made this envelope from some old book pages, and it just opens up like this, and I'll slip something in there. Gotta have a few surprises. Little vintage card here, and another little just journal card from one of the book pages. It would be from either this book or the Merry Times from the beginning. Added some ruffle there. Center signatures, be great for some pictures. And here's a little booklet that I made. Did some sewing, just made a little tuck there, little tuck there. This is just from a junk mail envelope that I've embossed, added some sequins on that, a little file folder, a little butterfly tag, and there's a little pocket in here. Here's a little book page, just made put it on a postcard there, made this little two-sided hidden paper clip here, just with a cluster, another little cluster there, some beads here, and this folds out like so on this Edith Holden page. And in this I had just a vintage autograph book page from 1935, and it was pink, so I thought it matched really well, and just a little envelope. And this is a copy of another little canvas picture that I had. I made a copy of it. This is some little artist paper that I have. Did a little graphite on there. Put this little quote on it. Thought it matched well. Made this little tuck. It is gusseted as well. Little chipboard tag. A little shimmering goodness on there. Did some sewing. Here's another long tag. It's got a tuck on it. Pretty grungy. A vintage Victorian calling card. And a vintage original picture. Made this tag as well. It's got a lot of shimmer on it. I did back it with some coffee dyed paper. Little tab here with a gold envelope, fabric flip up, little applique in the bottom, vintage lace at the top. This is on a copy of a vintage receipt, vintage book page. I made this frame. Put some little sparkles in there. It does move around when you flip it up. Trying to get all of it in the picture. A little picture from the book page. It's just for looks, but you could actually mount another picture on here. A little crooked. Mount another little picture on there so you could see through it. I liked the Victorian children in that. You can see that. Little love here, a little sentiment with a little heart charm. And here's just a handkerchief tuck. Let me get this out. What am I stuck on? Well, I glued it very well, supposedly. There we go. This is another long tag. Just backed on there with some sewing. Just matched all the colors. Did some decoupage, washi tape and lace. Here's your handkerchief tuck. Used a little sticker on that as well. Little rose metal charm. And this one, I just put the diamond glaze on all of these with a little sparkle on each. And these little butterflies. Made a little tuck here. Here's just an altered paper clip, and I have a little mini journal there. And this just has a rose on it. Vintage postcard. Vintage, looks like a receipt. Bank receipt, an empty envelope, and it's like a peachy pink color. And I thought it really went well. It's got that little 1-cent stamp on it. And I just did this because I thought it looked pretty with the rose here. This opens up, and I've made this pretty big pocket here, and just a little tab. It is a little tighter than usual for my other pockets, but I just made this little, put this little card in here with this little tab. It has a butterfly on it, and I just thought that looked pretty with it. Little book page, a music sheet page. Made this little flip down. Here's an original photo of these handsome gentlemen. And a gold open wire clip. And it's just a fold over here. Little pretty image here with all the same colors. Made a little gusseted pocket up here. And this goes on the side. So it could fit something really pretty in there. A couple of pages, couple little tags and tickets in there. And that just opens up like that. Tuck that up there. Some paper here, some empty paper, good journaling spots, little charms here and there. This is a pink and white envelope. This is a little mini key with a heart. And it's just a little bead, pink bead. And I will have something in here, but there's a little tuck that goes up there. And did some little accent on some decoupage here and made this cutout and sewed around with some vintage lace trim here. This is all like a very thick textured rice paper type, but it's heavily textured, and I put some gesso on it as well, so if anything could be on it, it just didn't make it so bright. Kind of toned it down a little bit. Some coffee dyed paper here with another tab with a little purse. Some paper there with another pink bead, some more stamping, another gold key. Made this pocket here with this picture that I put on the back of a postcard. Just saw the time, I'm like, oh, gotta hurry. Here's just some little charms, little beads on here, little fluffy pink. Just made this altered clip. It's just a hair clip. Clips like that on the page. Little cameo stick pin. And I used another one of these gold wire clips and a gold key. And made this envelope here with some glassine from some glassine bags. Put a little wax seal. There's a rose on it. 2 pages. I just printed off some really pretty paper. And I have that in the envelope. Again, whoever gets this will get some extra goodies in it that I don't show on video. And I just covered that with some doily and some little bit of sparkle on it. There we go. And here I used just a Victorian style bag, paper bag. It does have some pink tone to it. And it just opens up like this. Here is the inside that I've lined both sides with. A piece of vintage ledger. There's areas there that you could add your writing to it. It's from 1944. There's 49, 50 listed on here, and 1940. Put that back in there. And this here's just a tuck. This is one of a vintage market stamp that I got from Tailor-Made Journals, I believe. I'll have it in the description box as well. And vintage postcard here. And there's the clip, and that is the back. Okay, thanks for watching. And again, if you haven't done so already, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and thanks for watching. I'll have lots more journals done soon. Thank you.